Oh, Lordy. Lord almighty, Lordy. Lordy, 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 Lordy. What is going on, my people? I am Big D, the Gamecraft Dragon. And you're not. For me, 9th edition's in the books. Skynox and Commodore. Yeah. So for me, 9th edition's in the books. And I'm pivoting towards 10th. Working on a bunch of terrain for Commodore. I'm finishing it up. We're getting there. Working on some for the store I work at on the bench. And then I made a trade. Now, Skynox knows I made a trade with him a couple weeks ago where I traded him a bunch of my Adeptus Mechanicus. When I realized I just have too many armies. Well, here's the pivot. I have too many armies. So I decided I'm going to cull a couple of the armies that I hadn't really devoted self to or weren't like, oh my God, I must play this army. And so I bailed on one of my Age of Sigmar armies, my Sylvaneth Realm Lords. I'm not going to finish them up. I got one box of them. I'm going to probably find somebody who wants them and give them to him or trade them for something or whatever. But I'm going to get rid of my Realm Lords. I'm done with them. And I traded a bunch of my AdMech to Skynox a few weeks back. And then I found a buddy at work that really wants to get an AdMech. He's got some, but he doesn't have a lot. And he had an army he was trying to get out of. So we basically traded an MSRP equivalent value. I gave him every last bit. I have exactly one AdMech figure left. I have a single Tech Priest that I will be building and painting specifically to go in my Imperial Guard army. And he gave me basically all of his Marines so that I can have enough to really start moving forward on my Death Speaker's army. I've got a new paint scheme, starting with a base of black this time. So we're starting off with a Dread that we have immediately magnetized. Yay for magnetization. Dibs on what, Skynox? My Realm Lords? So, I started on these guys. These guys are... Nope. I'm keeping one final Tech Priest. I need him for my Imperial Guard. He is actually a named character, as Commodore knows. He is the personification of a character I played in a game. And so I'm going to finish painting up, going back and forth so I don't get bored with one. I'm working on Necrons and I'm working on Marines. So the Marines start strong. Like, right off the bat, the first three things coming down the pipe are a Leviathan a Redemptor. And a Razorback. No, I'm really kind of committed to keeping away from that army until I'm done with all. I'm committed to not getting into any more armies until I finish the ones I have. I may get more for current armies. Truth be told, I know me. I may get more for current armies I currently own, but no new armies. Even to the point where my Leagues of Votan that are built are my Leagues of Votan are built, but it's just the starter box for the release. They're built, but they're not primed or anything, and I'm not going to buy any of them. Probably for a bit. I don't know how much I'm going to invest in them. We'll see. I like them conceptually. I love them visually. I mean, but that's the same thing. I love AdMech in the same way, and I need to not have so many damn figures. So we're going to start with these boys. We're going to get these guys up and done. And then once the my two Marine armies are done, and my Necrons, I've still got like about a couple hundred points of guard left to do. Mainly just a couple squads, not a lot there. Then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe then I'll dive into my Drukhari that I've inherited in trading for all my Eldar. Can we finish an army? Yes, you can finish an army. I can tell you right now, in no uncertain terms, I am finished purchasing anything for Tau unless they develop a new unit. If they develop a new unit, I might buy Tau. But I don't think I need to buy a single Tau model ever again. I'm good. I've got, between the stuff I got from you, the stuff I bought, the other stuff I traded for, stuff I bought in a lot, I don't need any more Tau. I have a lot of Tau units I'm not even going to use. So, no, it's a joke statement, but it's true. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. In the case of Tau, I literally have every single unit short of I don't have the Croxagors or whatever they're called, the big Kroot riding things. It's the only unit I do not have for that army, and I don't have any piranhas, which I don't. The piranhas are like no big deal to me. They look neat, but they're not. They don't appeal to me. So, there's nothing I need. I have all the warriors, both types that I could want. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. There are some armies that I might want more of certain types of models. But even like my guard, like there's of the stuff I have, there's exactly one model that I want to buy for them. Pretty much exactly one. And I want a Baneblade, and that's it. I have anything else I could possibly want. I have more than enough Layman Russes in so many different variations and configurations, including ones that are fully magnetized. I have more troops than I need. I have more special weapons abilities to swap between them than I could want. I have multiple command squads. I have multiple artillery pieces. I might want a second Hydra, depending on how. Not a Basilisk. the big cannon. Depending on what the stats of the Basilisk are in 10th, I've always kind of debated wanting to get a second Basilisk, just because it's a good unit. I borrowed Commodores for a tournament at one point. I might want a second Basilisk. But my first is printed, so if I really, really want one, I'll just print the second one. But I'm pretty much done with Guard. I think I'm finally, other than, like they said, the big one is the Baneblade. I think I'm done. I'm at that completionist stage. I don't think there's anything more I need for my Wolves short of new units. Like, that's a lie. I just realized that's a complete lie. Yeah, there's plenty of Wolves stuff I really want still. I will never be done building Wolves. Damn it, I just realized. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want for Wolves that I've been wanting to get. So, yeah, never mind. Disregard that about the Wolves. As far as my Necrons go, I got my first heavy destroyer from Commodore. I kind of want a couple more of those. I'd like to get a Doomsday Arc. I'd like to get a Monolith. So there's things in the future I can get for them, like, oh, one-off. Yeah, I can get that. That's cool. But my mostly play in Go Army is done. It's just at this point a lot of painting. Like, I got to paint a lot more warriors. Maybe some Immortals. Like, I could probably use a couple squads of Immortals. Probably a couple squads of Lich Guard. So, yeah, I mean, there's still... I don't have a tremendous amount of diversity in my Necrons, but I'm not tremendously worried about it either because I don't play them very deep. I I know what I like. So we'll see if that's what I like aesthetically. We'll see if that works in 10th. So, yeah, the next thing is to now build up the Death Speakers and get them where I want them to be. They've already got two Land Raiders of the old style Land Raider, what they call the Land Raider Proteus. So I need like the newer Land Raider, but they've got an Executioner. I've got two of the Sky, the big speeders, the new speeder, the new Primaris speeder. They've got a drop pod. They've got a drop pod. They have what I own and not painted or built yet. They have another Redemptor. They have 2 or 3 Contemptors, I think. Maybe more. I think I have another Leviathan for them if I really want one. Again, I can print them if I need them. 2 Predators. I actually, weirdly enough for them, I need transports. I don't have any rhinos. Like, I need a rhino for them. I think I have a rhino in one of the boxes. So I think they have like 1 rhino. I might need a couple more rhinos. But these guys are also going to be 1,000-figure army. Like, I literally am going to be done with them when they are a full chapter-sized army. And that's a goal I've set for them. So, it works. I have more bikes than I can legitimately feel at a time. You fill the in a 2,000-point game. You can field 18 bikes, Outriders, in a 2,000-point game. I could technically field 18 bikes at this point, I think. Maybe 12. I know I've got a lot of bikes. GW practically gives the things away to all the different promotions and box sets. Oh, here, and you got a box set? Here, I have 3 bikes. Oh, these guys are cool to have 3 bikes. What do you have 3 bikes? I mean, Outriders aren't great. That's the problem. They're not great. We'll see how they are in 10th. And that's the big thing. That's why I kind of really want to get the Death Speakers to that point. I have a goal for them that has nothing to do with addition. I want to go through the all the lore they have for the Codex Astartes, and I want to build it the way a chapter compliant second founding chapter would have. So they'll have some old bits and they'll have some relic bits. I've got a couple squads of Mark 3s and Mark 4s that I got for Horus Heresy that I'm going to convert into just using them as tacticals. I've got a bunch of Mark 6s, a shitload of Mark 6s, and I'm going to be converting some of them into Devastator squads. So yeah, it'll be a thing, and it's good. I dig it. It'll work out. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. The idea of being able to, at some point, be able to sit down and set up the entire chapter and actually have the shoulder pads with, the rings of the proper chapter. So here's first company or second company, and you can see the difference of the company and line them up and actually put them down and actually have 10 companies worth of Marines. Yeah, it's a crap load of Marines. It's not a mobile thing. It's mainly a labor of love, but there's so much lore behind this army that I've been putting together. The fact that they refer to their captains, which again, there's only in a chapter, there's 10 captains and a chapter master. So there's 11. And we'll be referring to the captains, their lore. They replace the word for captain with the name Saeed, which is an honorable title, but it'll be Saeed. And the chapter master is Saeed Ka. There will be a number of librarians, and the chief librarian of the army is going to be their viziers, and the chief librarian is Vizier Ka. And I've got some named characters that will be specifically taking positions in these armies because I want to be able to play them. Let's say I want to play them as Imperial Fists. Well, yeah, here's, Tor Garadon repainted in the chapter companies, modified a bit so he's not Mr. Fisto. Take the Imperial Fist logo out of him, but he's just, I can play them as Imperial Fist, and here's Tor Garadon to be their leader. To be honest, my chapter master, the actual chapter master, I'm going to need 3 models to primarily represent him in lore, because I'm going to be using a captain in Gravis armor as his primary model. But if I play them as Ultramarines, I'm going to have a highly modified and green stuffed up Brute Gulaman that will be standing in for the Saeed Ka. And while I'm playing as Dark Angels, you bet your ass, we're going to have a version of the Lion done up to look as their chapter master. So there are 3 models, but it's actually one dude. It just depends what mood he's in that day. And that's the army. The army is going to be what mood I'm in that day. Do I want to play as Dark Angels? That's why my first company has so many Terminators. The thing I'm not doing that like some of the armies do, like the Dark Angels, I'm not giving them a different paint scheme. My entire army is going to stick to a singular paint scheme. Red on the left side, black on the right side. And then veterans and veterans will have white helmets, I think. I have to look how that looks, because the whole thing is it's bone. It shouldn't say white, it's bone. But a lot of guys have have a skull mask, because I went out and I've sourced so many Reaver helmets, because a lot of my Primaris are getting their heads replaced with Reaver helmets, because the skull is the chapter symbol there. So, the chapter symbol is literally a bone-colored skull on a black field. That's it. That's it. Nothing special, nothing fancy. And I want to in a lot of cases, at least in the marine side, they're going to be free-handed on there. So it's a thing. So that's what's on the bench. Like I said, big trades, big stuff going on. I just took a large portion of the stuff I had in trade, and it's drying right now. I just took it out of its purple stuff bath. A lot of them were primed in orange because he was doing orange. It's a cool color scheme, not my Marines. So, and there was a bunch of Ultramarines in here too. Oddly enough, the Ultramarines looked like they were primed just using the normal Macraig blue spray. And they, like, as soon as I put them in the purple stuff, the blue kind of just fell off of them. Where some of these orange guys, because they were primed in Rust-Oleum brown, I've got most of it off, but there's still like some orange staining. What's really odd is there's a bunch of these guys that were primed in like a metallic color, and that is, in a lot of them, not coming off. It darkened, but it didn't actually come off. So they're drying. And there's a bunch of them that just have primer on them, so I'm just going to paint over the primer. Not going to bother going further than that. But I'm also going to paint them one unit at a time. Actually, the first unit I'm going to paint, I'm going to do a set of 5 tactical Marines, or a set of 10 tactical Marines, or 5 assault intercessors. I'm going to probably do a 5-man unit just to get the color scheme down to make sure I like everything about it before I fully super commit to it. The big thing about painting, because I've already started one scheme and I didn't like it, and that's a big thing to realize, is that it's actually the second scheme. You can get sick of a scheme, or you can find flaws in your scheme as you go on. And I'm trying to test out a couple easy schemes. I want to maybe put a couple of each model by each other, or a couple of units by each other, to kind of gauge them across and see which I like the most or which I like the least. Because I want to make sure that I'm not going to regret this paint scheme when I'm 400 models in. Because I'm picking a scheme and I'm sticking with it, and I'm not repainting them again. I got about 20 models in on the number 2 paint scheme, maybe 30 models in on the number 2 paint scheme, and I'm just looking at it going, it's kind of plain. And that's why part of the reason I stopped working on it, because I'm like, it's a little plain. Maybe not. So, but yeah, I'm using this end of 9th to reflect. Like, I've pretty much played my last game of 9th. I might play one more over the next month. A very casual game, nothing competitive. I might have a Thursday free and I go over and play a game at the store on a Thursday night when the guys show up. But I honestly kind of doubt it. I want to focus on painting. I want to focus on building. I have a better chance of going and playing Age of Sigmar. Not a lot to talk about. I mean, really, it's the weird thing this week. Been a lot of reveals, actually, one a day. I saw the Gene Stealer cult reveal. They look spicy. A lot of the reveals have been, they're getting to be repetitive at this point. It's like, oh, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And the people that play the factions more know more what they're looking at. And it's funny, the more I look at it, the more I get hyped. Like, I saw the one for the Grey Knights, and I was like, oh, that looks great. And I got really hyped. And advertising works on me. I was ready to go out and buy a Start Collect or a Combat Patrol and a Boarding Patrol, because I have both those boxes in range of me at the store. go and get both those boxes and start up Grey Knights. And I talked to a Grey Knight player, and it's like, based on what that's there, it's not that great. It's not bad, but it's not that great. So I almost broke my promise to myself. I'm like, no new army. No new army. No new army. No, we'll not do it. Yeah, the GSC looks really strong. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They were a sleeper. Like their codex came out in 9th, and everyone's like, and they were really kind of meh. And like the last 6 months of 9th, just enough changes happened with Ark of Omens that they suddenly became hella strong and started making real waves in the tournament scene. And I don't know if that was secondaries or whatnot. I think it was secondaries because I know they got hit with a nerf, and one of their secondaries suddenly became and nobody's playing anymore. That 1 second, yeah, it was. It had to have been that secondary. That secondary just got nerfed, and everyone's like, "Oh, they suck again." Yeah, we do. I mean, it's funny though, and I gotta say the funniest thing about it is like the things that I get impulse to buy. There's it's a one way or the other. Like, man, I know the Vasher army was designed to be strong, and every time I look at that Vasher model, I'm like, God, he's ugly. He is so damn ugly. I cannot stand that model. That model is I do not like the look of the model. And I was thinking, like, I was honestly looking at like, world leaders, like they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. I dig them. I like their aesthetics. And then they revealed Angron, and I was like, at first I was like, he's pretty cool. And the more I looked at him, the more I disliked him. So now I'm just like, I know Lady D wants one to paint him up because she likes painting the big figures. So she wants one to paint at some point. But I'm just like, I mean, they may be strong, but I'm just not that. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way there, Knox. Hey, I didn't press you, Kami. I just pointed out a deal of deals, a deal you can't beat. What do you want? Hi. I was going to say hi to me. Oh, hi. Did your mom give you the pizza? The cowboy pizza?
I haven't had any yet.
But did you get it?
No.
Ask your mother. I set aside for you. Taco Tuesday was Pizza Tuesday today because my new job has me drive right by a Papa Murphy's on the way home, and Tuesdays are $10 pizzas. So nom. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Vasher's he's just an ugly model. I just don't like him. If you weren't forced to play him, I'd probably pay the army too, because I would immediately stick. Like I've got two Helldrakes. I've got two Forged Fiends. I've got the other kind of Forge whatever. I've got 3 of the spiders. No, I got 2 of the spiders. I've got 2 spiders. I've got a Disco Lord. I mean, I just go. I mean, I'd even go get one of those, one of the Thomas the Train Engines of Corn. I mean, just the whole. I mean, I love that thing. It's ridiculous and stupid, and I love it. I get it. But Vasher himself is so just. It's just an ugly unlikable model the way it looks. Mauler Fiends, yeah. Yeah, I've got two of the melee ones and one of the gun ones, so whichever one is which. Yeah, I mean, aesthetically, it's just. I mean, I don't even know what his stats are, but I just look at him and go, God, I don't even want to. I wouldn't want to build that. I do not want to buy that figure. And I like Chaos. Y'all know I like Chaos. I'm like, no. I was looking at the reveal of the rules on Death Guard, and at this point, it feels like Death Guard are getting trolled because they don't have a feel no pain. But there's like 3 other armies that have an army-wide feel no pain. They don't have feel no pain. They don't have disgusting and resilient. The 2 big things that are about that army, Death Guard lost. I'm like, man, that just feels like GW is going, you shouldn't have bought them 2 editions ago. Yeah, and now they move 4. They removed them back down to their 8th edition move. It's like, oh God. I mean, you're basically saying, you need to have, if you're going to play with your Terminators, you're going to have to bring them in, teleport them in, or you're going to have to get some freaking Land Raiders or whatever kind of new transport will take Terminators. The hell, man? Like, I mean, if an Impulsor will take 5 Terminators in it, I'm okay with that. But Death Guard don't get that. So, Land Raiders it is. That's upsetting. It's very upsetting. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at some writing notes and whatnot. People were saying that the nice thing is going to be about Death Guard is that they're going to have a lot of points to work with. So their models are going to be significantly cheaper than they were in the past. So that means you'll be able to put down a pretty good sized force. Okay, that makes up for a little bit. But we're not discussing resistance. The whole thing about they were like hard to kill. Okay, so yes, they're going to have high toughnesses. That basically means you're going to have to use anti-tank weapons on them. I'm already seeing how the escalation's going to go. People are going to go to higher toughness things, and people are going to go to higher strength weapons. And regular weapons are going to really stop showing up on the field, except that everybody has to take 3 troops. And certain commanders will let people take different troops, supposedly. We'll see. Troop Dax is a thing. Five-man tactical squads with a heavy weapon as their 5th dude. I'm going to be seeing a lot of that. Oh, look, it's 4 tacticals and a las cannon. How you doing? Because yeah, I mean that's what I'm looking at. Or 5 heavy intercessors. You just say, hey, we're just going to heavy intercessors. To hell with you. As a Marine, I can do that. At some point, they got to do something for some of these other armies that don't have a lot of heavy weapons options. You know, like Chaos on a whole. I think we're going to see a lot of Chaos Predators because people need the big guns. We're going to see a lot of Chaos Predators. I think we're going to see a lot of Dreadnoughts this edition, too. I think every army that can take Dreadnoughts or the equivalent of a Dreadnought will be taking them. Like broadsides. Tower going to be taking broadsides. Even probably, crisis suits are the thing. You're going to see broadsides on those armies. Every army's going to have broadsides. I think every Marine army on the table is going to be taking some form of anti-vehicular. They're going to be taking eradicators at a minimum. I would guess they're going to be taking a lot of double-sized eradicator squads. And the new all-gun dreadnought. Is it just me, or because the guns look like the original dreadnought and the boxiness looks like the original dreadnought, does it somehow make his legs look even longer and more gangly? He just looks like big long legs on his box running around, shooting guns. There's something kind of dorky about that dreadnought that I'm just kind of like, I don't know about this, guys. He looks weird. He's just like, it's like, and they didn't. It's the same chassis, but it looks like they put an extra leg joint in him. I'm too used to the boxy bots, which have little stubby legs, but a lot of weapons on top of it. Now they're giving him big, long, lanky, sexy legs on a box with guns. I have a question. What happens if you have like a bunch of orc knobs just run up and push it over? He don't got no arms. How's he going to get back up? Do you have to bring a unit over to put him and stand him back up? Because that's just not right. He ain't got no arms. He ain't getting up on his own. Get down. It's like a turtle. I can shoot missiles in the air and lasers in the air, but I can't roll over. Man, the man that's being put inside of that coffin, I mean, that's going to be like, he's going to get in there and realize I don't have no arms. Oh, this is going to be humiliating. I got to watch my step. And that's why the legs are so long. So we can I got to make sure I don't fall on nothing. It just don't look right. It just don't look right. They're getting rid of my box knots. I'm mad. I love the box knots. They can't be getting rid of them. They need to just keep them. Makes me mad. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly... Go back and watch the video, Phoenix. I'm telling you, you look at the new Dreadnought in the release video. I mean, Commodore pointed out to me, and I'm just like, I can't unsee it now. Every army, their first thing is going to just go push him over. Ha, he's on his back now. He's almost dead, and now he's humiliated. Brother, help me, brother. It's just awful. It's terrible. Oh, man. Oh, it's just terrible. I mean, between Brother Tinnitus and now Brother Daddy Longlegs, I want to build like an all meme list where it's just units that make you go, like, I'm going to take 3 heavy weapon slots, and they're all going to be those freaking nerf or nothing missile dudes. And then you take 3 of the gangly long leg dreadnoughts, and then, I mean, it's just as that. That's just bad, just like that. It's like this is heavy support. You guys are a bunch of dorks. Look at you. You can't get up, and you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh. The Marine AA tank. Oh yeah, you put 4 whirlwinds in there, or 3 whirlwinds in there, and you take the thunder cannon, the one that's got a marine tech marine at it, and the gun that's just like, what is this thing? That basically its only job is to hit units and make them move less. and put Jets in the game because the Jets terrible. I mean, you could just go just bad. You get the ATVs with brother tinnitus. I can't hear, but I can drive. I can't drive 55. I don't even know what they're doing. I don't understand what they're doing with this edition of these new figures. It's, I swear they gotta have a bunch of 8-year-olds with Marine pictures and just kind of put it. I like this. We're gonna make it into a Marine. I like this. And like the tanks, the execution, the impulse, the repulsor executioner, the impulsor, the gladiator, and then the storm strike speeder. It's like they started with an execution, just put it in the dryer and just kept it in a little too long each time and just kept shrinking a little bit more every time until it shrunk down to an ATV. And they're like, I can't fly anymore. Just stick 4 wheels on it because it's the same. No, the actual ACK tank. I have no idea what you're talking about for the Marines. The Marines have an ACK tank? I mean, you're talking about the Whirlwind. Isn't that the Whirlwind? What ACK tank are you talking about? Go look on Games Workshop and tell me what. Go look at Games Workshop and tell me the name of the tank. I know one of the few things I know is I know the armor by name, and I have no idea what you're talking about. The only anti-aircraft tank I can think of. Whatever. Shatterpoint. I got to see Shatterpoint, the new Star Wars, the new Star Wars Kill Team basically game, except it's at a bigger scale. It's slightly bigger than. It's a lot bigger than regular Star Wars Legion. The figures are almost twice the size. Like the regular dudes are on 40 millimeter bases. I got to see it. I'm like, I want to like it. But I mean, why would you pick a different scale? Why would you go with a different scale? Like now, if I want to play this, I got to get terrain in that scale that matches those figures. Or does the game not take terrain? I don't know. I don't know. If I was driven to play more Star Wars, which let me be clear, I'm not enamored to play Star Wars at all. But let's see what you're looking at. The Stalker. Oh, good Lord. Oh my God. What is this thing? Oh, look at the bottom of the page of the other two, the Whirlwind and the Thunderfire cannon. What is this thing? I can honestly say I have never seen a Stalker. I have never seen one of these live. I've never seen one of these live in person. Oh, that kills me. Oh, that kills me. I'll tell you why it kills me. Because I was talking with somebody else earlier, and one of my things. Oh, God. Are you serious? Oh, that's right, Thursday. Yeah, we will get to that. Yes, you will. You will see me on Thursday. So then, yeah, I'm not gonna be playing any 40K before 10th comes out. Because I got Thursdays lit up. So yeah, I was talking to a guy earlier. And talking about my plan for this 1,000 my chapter, and one of the points I made about that army is that it's a full 1,000-person chapter. So I will have at least one of every unit that Games Workshop offers for Marines in that army. One of every unit at a minimum. So I have to buy a stalker. Crap. What an awful freaking looking unit. On to what Tina's talking about. I'm going to be playing in a role-playing game. Lord of mercy. I had sworn off role-playing after finishing the game I was playing with Little D and Commodore and Lady Dragon and who barely played and Pirate Phoenix. We have been playing the game. And when that one ended, I was supposed to start running one, but we never really got around to me running a game. And I kind of swore off role-playing again, only because the last few role-playing games I've been in have been, other than that one, up until that one, and I say that honestly, a lot of the role-playing games I have been in the last couple years had been pretty bad. They had been rather unenjoyable. And it's just been a thing. It's just like I ran a couple games. I had players just kind of ruin the experience for myself and other players. And I just kind of fell out of love with role playing. I was like, I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with these people. I'm done with people ruining other people's fun because they have to be the center of attention. Which now I'm saying that's going to bite me in the ass. Everything's like, oh, no, you got to be the center of attention. No. I just... There are people that have been in role-playing games that I have run that basically were, hey, look at me. Hey, pick me. Hey, look at me, pick me. And I hate that. Point blank, I hate that. I really do. Man, he's got a lot of jump back dudes in this. Yeah, I kind of really hate that a lot. I just want to play. I just want my homies to play. I want everyone to have a good time. And like the last couple games, I had a player that just kind of really made it not fun for most of the people involved. So, and now I'm kind of looking forward to playing with this crew because it's not a long-term game. It'll let me get my feet wet. Let me get back into role-playing without committing the next few years of my life. And I say that because I'm the guy that plays role-playing games that last for years. I ran a superhero-based role-playing game that I started running in 1991 that we played off and on various variations of characters, various people, but basically ran that game up until the mid-2000s. So 15 years or so I ran that one. I started a D&D campaign in the mid-'80s in high school that I ran off and on and then ran it with another friend, and then he ran a D&D game, and then we kind of merged the two campaign worlds together. And we were playing that up until 2012, 2011. Lady D came out here in 2012, so we played up until about 2010, 2011. Yeah, exactly, Ben. You hit it right on the head. You hit it right on the head. Like, I don't want to just run people over. I want everyone to have a good time. If I'm running a game or I'm in a game, I want everyone to have a good time. And unfortunately, some of the people I've played with over the years are really bad about remembering that there are other people that aren't NPCs. And that's sad. It's very sad, but it's the truth. And then that's just the reality of some of the people I play with over here. I haven't always played with the best people, admittedly. I played with some. There are certain people I've played with that I've made the point that I may like them as a friend, but I'll never play with them again. Because I've also noticed when Ben accused me of being a boomer all the time, I'm not a Gen X, but I have noticed as I've gotten older, my tolerance for other people's bullshit keeps getting less and less and less. And they get to a point where their bullshit's just like, all right, time to go. Because I got other fun things I can do. I got other good things I can do. I have things I can go and do, and I'm okay with that. And I don't need to be around somebody that doesn't let me have a good time or makes people I care about have a bad time. I can go, and I'm okay with that. So, is that terrible of me? I don't know. I don't feel that guilty about it. Again, that comes back to the whole tolerance for other people's bullshit. I want to play more board games. I noticed if you haven't played Zombicide is a hilariously fun game, and it's not new or anything. But I noticed recently there's an Old West version of Zombicide, which appeals to me in a lot of different ways. I don't know. I kind of want to get playing some more board games. I've recently learned Zool. I really enjoy that. I want to play some more Wingspan. I love that game so much. Been playing a lot of Terraforming Mars. Since I started working at the store, I don't have time to play Magic because all the times when I come to play Magic, I'm working. So I have this Magic collection, and I'm like, I want to play, but I don't have time. It makes me sad. I want to diversify into things other than miniatures. I want to. I don't have to paint every game I play. That's why I like Song of Ice and Fire. Miniatures game, I don't have to paint. Fuck it. Those are my Starks. They're gray. Deal with it. No, they're not unpainted gray. They're gray because that's their faction color. So, those Boltons over there are the, what do you call it? The Targaryens over there are red. They're all red miniatures. My guys, they're gray because they're Starks. Or my Wild Folk, which are like blue, I think. They're blue-ish. They're not the same as the Starks, but they're not that different either. Not a lot going on right now. I mean, I know a bunch of my boys. Knox is one of them. Who are green? Whatever. You will be contrary with someone who cares, mister. You're right. Free folk are green. Now that you say it, I'm like, you're right. They are green, aren't they? Mr. Contrary. Not a lot talked about. Not a lot of things going on. I mean, Skynox and Smith were down in KC for like a goodbye to ninth. My farewell to ninth tournament that was going to be ringing up my store looks like it's canceled because we're 3 weeks out. We don't have a single sign up. Is that this weekend? What was the one that you guys were at? Or yeah, what was the one that you guys were at this past weekend? That was all the talk, just chalk. What was that tournament this past weekend? If you sign up, do you win? If you sign up and you're the only one, I will refund you your money, and that is your prize money. Because the prizes are 100% of signups. So if you sign up and you're the only one that signs up, you win. Here's your money back. Yay! Motor City Mayhem, that's what you guys want to do. Okay. I'll be honest. It's hard for me to stay focused on 9th edition. I'm past it. I'm over it. I'm beyond it. I'm done with 9th. I'm trying to push it out of my brain so that I have a lot of space for all the 10th edition to get pushed into my brain. So I can become the best 10th edition player ever. I like the idea of an EOS Exclamation League, as long as it's on a day I can play, like Sundays. Team Warp Storm, that was the idea. And they basically, every single member of the team's like, oh, I got something else to do this weekend. Like, every single member blew me off. Plus, they're all bored with 40K, too. Most of my team's, like, going to quit 40K. They're all going to go play some other game. They're all waiting for, like, I don't know, some other game. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a funny situation. Like, a lot of people are actually burnt out on 9th, and so they're already moved on 10th. And there's some guys that just don't want to play 10th, and I don't know. I'm excited for 10th. I'm really burnt out on 9th. I'm ready to move forward, and it's all good. It's fine. It's totally fine. We'll see how things go. We'll know better what the actual situation is in 3 months when a codex is dropped, the edition is dropped, figures are built and painted, and people are ready to throw 10th edition dice at each other. Yeah, and that's fair, Skynox. That's fair. Like, I think other systems could be cool. I know there's a couple I play. Like, I'd love to try and get some Conquest up and going. Song of Ice and Fire, man, it's a good game. It's a good game. And there's a living, breathing, competitive scene for that game. Plus, it's just a fun game to play. Honestly and truly, it's just a fun freaking game to play.
Okay, good. I don't have to leave Jamie though.
Shatterpoint looks good. I don't want to say it doesn't look good. I just wish they did it in a scale that you didn't have to like reinvent the wheel. Like the figures are like this big. It's
Also,
here's the thing. That was the biggest problem I heard about the problems with Inquisitor. There was an Inquisitor game a few years back. Well, I want to say like a few years. It was like a decade or so ago. There was an Inquisitor game that was at like double scale. Yeah. I mean, gaming itself is in a good place right now. People just got to find what they're into. And as long as you know what you're into, you're good. My niche is 40K. I like 40K. I like what goes on with it. I don't want to take away from anyone that wants to play something else. I like Age of Sigmar. I don't want to play it competitively, but I want to play it, and I want to play it more.
Jamie,
I want to play
how
board
many times
games.
have I talked about wanting to fuck my friend's moms?
I kind of really want to play more Magic, but I want to play Commander. I don't want to play other formats. I want to play Commander. And that lends itself to either being hyper competitive or hyper casual, and there's not a lot in between. So, I'm blinking and blinking and blinking, and I'm running out of stuff to talk about, and I'm babbling and I'm rambling. And that's also the other thing that I've been noticing, and it's starting to happen at least at the store I work at, and it's noticeable at the other two in that group.
Oh, yeah,
Summer's starting to hit, warmer weather's starting to hit, and Wisconsin gaming takes a hit in the summer because everybody's going and doing stuff outside. And
I need to show Jamie the picture of me being dead.
play super casual. I just want to play Commander. I have decks that I can go between really gross and pushes the level in. It's a fun deck. It may not fire, but it's fun. So there's that. Yeah, the thing is, that I was saying is that summer in Wisconsin is the time of year when actually people go outside and do stuff, and people do things with their family, and they go camping and weird outdoor in the sun type of stuff. Ew, gross, gross. But gaming always takes a hit in the summer in Wisconsin. Winter's always a stronger time. So who knows? I may focus on this summer, focus on content creation, and painting, and then worry about playing more once fall comes in and things slow down and people show up for stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
That's why you're gay, because you were born the first day of Pride Month.
I'm with you, Ben. Like June, July, August.
Because I was born the day after.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Whew. Oh, excuse me. Well, I think that's a sign. Fam, I think that's a sign. I think we're gonna roll it up here.
Did you just say?
We're just at a point in the season and in the game where just things are.
Really?
Need more fans one on my face. Yeah, I'm with you.
That explains why I'm so gender fluid.
I think we're gonna roll it up here, and we will see you next week. Come next week. Maybe I'll have a couple of these guys painted by then. I can get some feedback on what y'all think of the red and the black. But until then, enjoy your time. I'm going to go role play on Thursday. I'm going to forget about what dice do I need for this role-playing game. I'll just bring my bucket of dice. We'll figure something out. But until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be good to each other. And until next week, game on.